The illusion of being rich. Imagine two people. The first drives an expensive car, wears luxury clothes, travels frequently, and lives in a beautiful apartment. From the outside, almost everyone would say, he is rich. The second person drives a normal car, lives comfortably but modestly, and rarely shows signs of luxury. But behind the scenes, this person owns investments, has savings, little debt, and several sources of income. Now here's the question. Who is actually wealthier? This is where many people confuse two very different ideas. Being rich and being wealthy. They can exist together, but they are not the same thing. A high income can make you rich. A luxurious lifestyle can make you look rich. But wealth is something deeper. Wealth is about what you own, what you keep, what continues to produce value, and how financially secure you remain when income stops. Understanding this difference can completely change the way you think about money. What does rich really mean? When people say someone is rich, they usually look at visible signs. A large salary, a luxury car, an expensive home, designer clothes, frequent travel, a high level of consumption. And there is nothing inherently wrong with any of those things. The problem begins when we confuse spending power with financial strength. Imagine someone earning $15,000 every month. That sounds impressive. But what if that same person spends $14,500 every month? The income is high. The lifestyle is expensive. But very little remains. Now imagine the income suddenly disappears. How long can that lifestyle continue? A high income gives you the ability to spend more today. But it does not automatically create financial security tomorrow. That is why income alone cannot tell you how wealthy someone is. Being rich often describes the flow of money coming in. Wealth depends much more on what remains after the money arrives. What is wealth? Wealth is accumulated economic value. It includes things such as savings, investments, businesses, property, productive assets, and other resources that belong to you. But there is another side of the equation. Debt. If you own $1 million in assets but owe $900,000, your financial position is very different from someone who owns $1 million and owes almost nothing. This is why one useful way to think about wealth is through net worth. What you own minus what you owe. But wealth is not only a number on paper. Real wealth also creates resilience. It gives you time. It gives you options. It can help you survive a period without income. It can reduce dependence on the next paycheck. And when productive assets generate income, wealth can begin supporting your lifestyle instead of your lifestyle consuming everything you earn. That is the fundamental shift. Income pays you once. Wealth can continue working after the income has been received. Same income, different future. Now imagine two people who both earn $10,000 per month. Same income. Same city. Same starting point. Person A spends $9,500 every month. Luxury car payment. Expensive apartment. Restaurants. Travel. Subscriptions. Consumer debt. At the end of the month, only $500 remains. Person B also earns $10,000. But this person lives on $6,000 and directs $4,000 towards savings, investments, and productive assets. After 1 month, the difference may not look dramatic. After 1 year, it becomes visible. After 10 years, the difference can become enormous. The important lesson is this. Income creates opportunity. What you do with income creates wealth. Two people can earn exactly the same amount and move in completely different financial directions. One converts income into lifestyle. The other converts part of the income into ownership. And ownership can continue growing long after the original paycheck has disappeared. Income is not wealth. This distinction is critical. Income is money that flows to you during a period of time. Salary is income. Business profit distributed to you can be income. Rent received from property can be income. But income itself is not automatically wealth. Imagine pouring water into a bucket. If the bucket has a large hole at the bottom, it does not matter how quickly water enters. Very little stays inside. Money works the same way. Someone can earn more and more while simultaneously increasing expenses. A larger house. A more expensive car. More subscriptions. More debt. A more expensive lifestyle. This is called lifestyle inflation. Income rises, but spending rises with it. Wealth grows when part of the economic value you create is retained and converted into assets. That is why the question should not only be, how much do you earn? A more important question is, how much of what you earn are you able to keep, own, and grow? Assets or appearance? Now we reach one of the biggest traps. Looking wealthy can be extremely expensive. A luxury vehicle may cost $100,000. But if it was financed with debt and continuously requires payments, insurance, and maintenance, it may represent a significant financial obligation. At the same time, another person may own investments worth $100,000. Both spent or allocated the same amount of money. But they purchased very different financial realities. One bought primarily consumption and status. The other acquired assets that may preserve or increase economic value. This does not mean that buying luxury products is always a bad decision. Money is also meant to improve life. The point is different. Do not confuse consumption with wealth creation. Something can make you look successful while simultaneously weakening your financial position. And something almost invisible can quietly strengthen it. Wealth is often less spectacular than richness. Because much of real wealth is not designed to be seen. It is designed to remain. The freedom test. Here is a simple question that reveals a lot. If your active income stopped today, how long could you maintain your current life? 1 week? 1 month? 6 months? Several years? This question moves us away from appearance and toward financial resilience. Someone earning a very high salary may feel financially powerful. But if every month requires another high salary to maintain the lifestyle, that person remains highly dependent on income. Another person may earn less but have substantial reserves, investments, and low fixed expenses. That person may actually possess more financial freedom. This is why wealth is closely connected to options. The option to survive an emergency. The option to change jobs. The option to start a business. The option to take time to learn. The option to say no. The option to make decisions without every choice being dictated by the next bill. Money becomes particularly powerful when it does not only buy things. It buys time and choice. How wealth is built. Wealth usually does not appear in one dramatic moment. It is built through repeated decisions. First, create income. Then spend less than the total value you receive. Keep a reserve. Avoid unnecessary destructive debt. Invest part of the difference. Acquire productive assets. Allow time to work. Then repeat the process. This is where compounding becomes powerful. Returns can begin producing additional returns. Assets can generate income that is reinvested into more assets. Over long periods, relatively small differences in financial behavior can produce very different outcomes. That is why wealth building often looks boring from the outside. There may be no dramatic car, no expensive watch, no public display, just disciplined decisions repeated over years. But beneath the surface, something important is happening. Dependence on active income can gradually decrease. Financial resilience can increase. Ownership can grow. And eventually, money begins doing part of the work that previously depended entirely on your time. The danger of looking rich. Modern culture makes this especially difficult. We constantly see images of success: cars, houses, hotels, watches, private jets, luxury brands. But we rarely see the financial structure behind those images. Was the car purchased with cash or debt? Is the house owned or heavily financed? Does the person have investments? Are expenses sustainable? How much is actually owned? Social media shows consumption extremely well. It does not show balance sheets. And that creates a dangerous comparison. People may spend money they do not have to imitate lifestyles whose finances they do not understand. This is where the desire to look rich can become an enemy of becoming wealthy. Status consumption can consume the capital that could have created future freedom. So before buying something expensive, ask yourself, am I buying this because it genuinely improves my life? Or because I want other people to believe something about my life? That distinction can save enormous amounts of money. Rich or wealthy? So remember the fundamental difference. Being rich is often associated with high income and high spending power. Being wealthy is associated with accumulated assets, financial resilience, ownership, and freedom. A person can be both rich and wealthy. That is completely possible. But one does not automatically create the other. High income gives you a powerful opportunity. What you keep and what you build determines what happens to that opportunity. So instead of asking only, how can I earn more money? Begin asking another question. How can I convert part of what I earn into lasting economic value? That is where the mindset changes. From consumption to ownership. From appearance to substance. From income to assets. From dependence to greater freedom. And perhaps the simplest way to remember the lesson is this: being rich can change how you live today. Building wealth can change how long your money continues working for you tomorrow. Now ask yourself, are your current financial decisions helping you look richer or helping you become wealthier?